Right then, this is a walk around video, and this is for an absolutely beautiful looking car. This is a top of the range 1.6 EX Plus Tourer, obviously a Civic, finished in this beautiful blue. It's called Sporty Blue, which is a really naff name, but it looks stunning on the car. The reason I'm doing this in the shade is it actually picks up on any imperfections better than in bright sunshine, and it's a lovely day, but that's rubbish for doing videos, unfortunately. So bear with me. Coming around the front of the car, 59,000 miles, sorry, on the car. Full Honda service history right up to the service we've literally just done, and it's just in beautiful condition. Lights and lenses, you can see they're completely clear and intact. Facelift version, so you get the new style front end, which looks superb on the car. Bonnet, extremely clean. It's got some tiny light stone chip. I mean, I'm talking tiny, but hardly anything. Coming down the near side is just mirror smooth in the panel work, absolutely beautiful. Full set of Bridgestone tyres all round, which is a lovely sign of ownership, and these very handsome looking alloys on the car. Let's come round to the back of the vehicle. It's a really fabulous angle for the car, it just looks stunning, absolutely stunning, this vehicle. Come around the back again, just all the entry points really clean. That's a real rarity for an estate car. Offside, driver's side, again, just wonderfully smooth in the panel work there. I mean, there will be the odd tiny little mark, but you have to look very hard to find them. And you know, when you consider the age and mileage of the car, it is just in lovely condition. While on the front there, again, absolutely clean. So externally, we're looking at a truly handsome looking car in beautiful condition. So coming to the back of the car now, obviously a cavernous boot on the estate cars. Again, it's been kept absolutely beautifully. You know, hardly any signs of wear in here at all. Coming to the back now, big wide opening rear doors. And in all honesty, it looks like the back of the car has virtually never been used. The leatherwork is extraordinary. Coming to the front now, front passenger door card again, as with all the others, looks pristine. Footwell areas, full set of original Honda mats fitted to the car, again absolutely unmarked. Front passenger seat again, just doesn't look like it's ever been sat on, absolutely. Finally, just come to the driver's door card, again perfect. Again, footwell area absolutely superb, and driver's seat, the one takes all the wear because it's the only one that's really been used, and it shows virtually nothing at all. So it's inside the car now, engine's running to this section, as is always the case in the videos, and that's just to show the dashboard actually illuminated. The dashboard, I say it on some of the videos, and it really is true, just looks superb and looks absolutely as new. It's in just stunning condition. All the little recesses have been kept really nicely. Come back up to the sat nav, obviously working perfectly. If I pop the car into reverse, get that lovely gridded parking camera. If I come up here, hopefully not snag the wire, and you can see there 59,824 miles currently recorded. And back here, there are no warning lights on the dashboard whatsoever. And that is the view you get as a driver in one of these Civics. I mean, it really is a sensational looking dashboard. So interesting to look at, and so nice to use day in, day out. Just to quickly show you, owner's manual pack, lock and wheel nut key, both here and present with the car. So finally, just to come under this absolutely beautifully presented engine bay. This is Honda's way. Simply fantastic engines in every single way. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a really lovely car. This is a Honda Civic, and it's a 1.6 EX Plus, so it's the top of the range vehicle. Registered AF16EEO, and mileage currently showing is 59,817 miles. The reason for doing these videos very simply is basically so that if you're looking at this car in an advert online, you actually get to see that very car in operation. We know that people are willing to travel huge distances to go and see cars, but that can be fraught, obviously, with having your time wasted, as we know to our own cost. Where you see a car advertised in lovely pictures, only to get there to find out it's got a fundamental problem, which you clearly should have been told about before setting off. So it is critical in that sense. It's also done on part of the road test route any prospective buyer would go on if offered a test drive in the car. Hopefully then it's representative of what you feel yourself, should you be offered a test drive. The car's obviously been very well looked after. It's just arrived to us, not been cleaned yet, although it is amazingly clean already. It hardly needs anything doing to it. I'm just going to go through the usual things I do on these road tests, one by one for you, starting with the engine. Push button start on the EX Pluses because they've got keyless start and keyless entry. It starts instantly, settles to a completely smooth, even idle. Temperature gauge running at 3rd. That's exactly where it should be on a Honda car. It's a red hot day. It's been running for over 2 hours now, so clearly up to full operating temperature. No warning lights on the dashboard relating to the engine or any other part of the car either. The engines are just simply brilliant. Pretty much the perfect diesel engine because it's smooth and quiet in operation, as much as a diesel obviously can be, but it's one of the better ones out there for that kind of thing. But it's got a lovely power delivery. It's not one of those engines where it's got nothing, then loads of power, then nothing. It's got a really broad spread of power across the rev band, which means they're very tractable. But as you touch the throttle and they're up and going. But it's a wonderful unit. But also it is genuinely just astonishingly economical, and I've had numerous of them and easily averaged over 60 to the gallon out of mine. I know I've got customers getting far more than that, by the way, but that's relatively easily achieved. Clearly that is down to driving style and where you live, so shorter trips use more fuel generally speaking, but longer cruises, they're just amazing things. Also happens to be brilliantly reliable and long lasting, and by far and away the best in its class for that as well. They can take enormous mileages with just normal regular servicing. Engine then feeds through into clutch and gearbox on the car. Clutch absolutely perfect, bite points exactly where it's meant to be, and nice and smooth on the pedal travel. Gearbox is a class act, as Honda tend to do on the gearboxes. They've got a nice weighty mechanical feeling gear change. Really is fabulous to use. Just makes the car feel premium, which is clearly what it is, and I can feel absolutely no wear in the linkage at all, by the way. Steering on the car, track's absolutely dead straight. I'm at the legal limit now. There's no vibrations at all coming back through the steering wheel. The steering's lovely because it's got that lovely combination of being quick, direct, dynamic, but also happens to be very, very accurate and precise. It's wonderfully fluid in use, and it works perfectly with the chassis of the car. And again, with the steering, can detect absolutely no wear in it at all. It just feels, the car feels absolutely like new to drive, which is an awful cliche, but one that's very apt with this particular vehicle. Chassis on these vehicles, again, just really nicely done. What they give you is if you like your driving, it's a very, very enthusiastic car to drive. It loves to change direction, flows through corners really nicely with brilliant body control, but also offers a very comfortable ride. The EX Plus is also one of the ones which gets this adaptive rear dampers. So on the little button down here, I've got I'm currently on comfort, so it's nice and soft. Press it again, you can feel it harden up straight away into dynamics. So there's quite a big difference between the softest and harder settings. So that basically, when you're changing direction, you get less movement with the car. And then you've got a middle one, kind of a normal one if you like, somewhere in between the two. When I'm driving around the lanes, I tend to have it in comfort. It just absorbs the bumps a bit better, in all honesty, but all working perfectly. Also on road test, by the way,
I'm just listening out for any noises, any kind of clonks, rattles from underneath the car that shouldn't be there, and there's nothing at all. Absolutely solid as a rock in that sense. Brakes on the car, just wait until I get around this corner. I know they're good, but I'm going to give them a bit of a shove. There's a really nice solid brake pedal on the car. What I'm looking for on that initial application is it bites powerfully, but also that there's no vibrations or pulsing coming back through the brake pedal, of which there's nothing at all. It's absolutely perfect. Looking inside, what videos can never impart is how well built a car is, and these are amazingly well built. I've driven some so-called premium quality estate cars from some of the top marks, and with this age of mileage you hear them at the back particularly sort of creaking and groaning and rattling and things shifting around. There's no noise. There's absolutely no trim noises, rattles at all. They are brilliantly made cars. With also happens to have, in my humble opinion, and it is only an opinion, by far and away the best dash in its class, because dashboards are there to just impart information to you and for you to be able to activate things, and it does all those things brilliantly well, but also just looks superb and has some lovely features to it which as part of this look. The more conventional part is this centre stack on the car, but you've got that lovely big sat nav, you can see they're clearly working. Dual zone climate control, so you have different temperatures side to side, pumping out lovely cold air, and it's 27 degrees today, so obviously it's clearly working and effective. But also the quality of the switchgear is brilliant on the vehicles. You touch a button and it has a lovely damped, oily click feeling to it. Just, you're driving something that's of very very high quality indeed. So I'm just going to pull it behind this car, so there we go. And it's all going to last for an eternity. I mean, it just keeps going. Heated seats again with the leather seats inside the car, again all checked and all working exactly as they should. And then you just get this wonderful sweeping dash in front. It just is brilliant, because all the information you want to look at on a regular basis, that quite often on lots of cars you have to kind of look down into the dashboard or into the binnacle. On this you don't, because high up there you've got an information display system. So if you do change things like the ventilation, the readout comes up there. The same with the radio, the readout comes up there. So you're not having to sort of take your eyes off the road. And then my favourite part, this big digital speedo there. Again, it means I can look at the car ahead or pedestrians or whoever else, but clearly keep an eye on my speed at all times. And it is genius in the way it works. And it's to Honda's shame, I think, that they took it off the very latest generation Civics. I think it's a really retrograde step. Down below that we've got more conventional pod of 3 dials, big rev counter in the middle, flanked either side by the temperature and fuel gauges there. But it's a wonderful dashboard. It really is. Sorry, I'm trying to avoid those stones. On this generation you've also got auto lights, auto wipers, auto dipping lights. There's all sorts of stuff on it. It really is. It's a very highly equipped car, and again, as I said, all working exactly as it should as well. As I said at the start of the video, the point of it, brief as it may be, is literally just to show the car in operation. It just amazes me. It just drives absolutely as new. And I've been selling Hondas for over 20 years, so we do know a good one, and this one, it just feels as tight as a drum. Whoever's lucky enough to get it next will be taking on a really fine car indeed. As always though, if you've got any questions, please do call and ask.